I'm Ray, and this is my wife Tracy. We bought a home, believe it or not, via FaceTime from our agent Greg 3 years ago. I was in New York on business and literally got to my hotel room, and Greg walked me through the house on FaceTime. And as soon as we saw the views, we knew, okay, we have to have this property. And so we made an offer after a FaceTime with Greg on the property, and after the traditional back and forth of a real estate deal, we came under contract never having seen the property. My oldest son, who has a business degree and is in finance for a Fortune 500 company, had berated me. Dad, you bought a piece of property in a foreign country on FaceTime, never having seen it? And I laughed along with him, but I said, I have a good feeling about this, and I think it's going to work out. So we went to the closing, met Greg for the first time, and I shared that story with him. And then we got the keys to our home and came and found it, and it was everything we'd hoped for. I had interviewed 3 Cabo realtors and had decided on Greg because he just sounded so genuine. And he wasn't really trying to sell me on Cabo. He was trying to help us find a solution to our, I guess you wouldn't call it a problem, but our goal was to find rental property, and Greg really went out of his way to find a solution to that. I've bought a lot of property in my life, other vacation properties in different parts of the country, and buying property is a little bit different in Mexico. And the thing that made it so easy was Greg held our hand from contract signing through closing and all the additional things that had to happen afterwards. Putting utilities in our name. We eventually decided to become temporary residents. Greg helped us with that, and he just has been a valuable resource, not only up until the closing. I've had a lot of realtors kind of disappear after they get their paycheck, but Greg has been a wealth of knowledge ever since our first contact, and continues to this day. I not only consider him my realtor, but I consider him a good friend. The favorite thing about Cabo would have to be the weather and the views. It is just so amazing down here. As we sit and look at people having snowstorms in Denver this last weekend, we went to the beach, took the kayak out. You can go out and snorkel all day without wetsuits, without getting cold. It's just a phenomenal place year-round. The weather here is phenomenal.
I'd like to add, in addition to the obvious, what really surprised me about Cabo is the community. I have been so welcomed. There are a ton of expats here. Greg has been great in introducing us to a lot of people. I've gotten to know the lay of the land. I really feel like this is more of a home than I ever had in the States.
We have not had a bad meal since we've been here. And we are continually joking that maybe the next time we try a new restaurant, it'll be a restaurant we don't want to go back to. But that hasn't happened yet. Every restaurant has met or exceeded our expectations. You would be hard-pressed to find friendlier, harder working people than we have here in Cabo. It's just a fantastic community. We get asked questions all the time about how safe Cabo is, and the first thing we do is usually laugh, because we feel far safer here than we did living in San Jose, California. I travel the world on business on almost a weekly basis, and so Tracy is here in Cabo by herself, and well, I'll let her answer how she feels.
I feel very safe. Again, as Ray said, I feel safer here than I did back in the States, and it goes again to that sense of community. The people are so helpful. I never worry when I lay my head on the pillow at night about safety here at all.
Last year decided that we loved Cabo so much that we were going to make it our full-time residence. So for the past year, we've been full-time residents of Cabo.